Today's episode is with Sarah Lawrence. She's a comedian. She's a DJ. She's a great person. We talk about life. We talk about comedy. We talk about music. We talk about moving to America. That can be hard. She's from Australia. It's a great episode. You're going to love it. If you haven't already, check out the Patreon. You get free tickets to the shows I'm on. It's going to be one coming up at the Soho House, which is going to be super fun and exclusive. Got some secret mansion shows. It's the best $5 you can spend, and you get bonus episodes, bonus content, and you support the pod. So it makes you a great person. Thank you, and enjoy the episode. All right, Sarah Lawrence.
Hi.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Have you Googled yourself?
Oh, yeah. Everyone has.
Yeah, I Googled you before you came.
It's misleading. Well, it's not misleading, but it's just like weird because no one knows anything about me.
Well, no, because the college, Sarah Lawrence. That must be the bane of your existence.
Oh.
There's a whole school named after you. How does it feel?
I was going to change my name when I got here.
Yeah.
Because my middle name is Rachel Olivia. And so my mom always wanted to call me Olivia, and then I was like, Mom, I'm gonna finally do it because I'm like, Sarah Lawrence is a fucking school. But yeah, I was like, I'm gonna change my name to Olivia because I was trying to be an actor and stuff, and I'm like, every time I go and everyone's like, oh, like the school, and I'm like, they don't get but now I realize that that's actually a good thing because now I'm like associated with the school, so no one's gonna forget my name. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But is there already a Sarah Lawrence in SAG, or is that you?
There's like 5.
So you might have to not be her.
No, I'm like Sarah Lawrence 5. Number 5.
Number 5?
I think, yeah, V. Sarah Lawrence V. But I haven't, I'm SAG eligible. I just never
did it.
Never did it. But because I stopped doing everything.
Right.
Back in the day. But yeah.
Back in the day, you were a model, actor.
Yeah.
And anything else?
DJ.
DJ?
Yeah.
In Aussie or here?
No, so not here. No.
In Perth?
In England and in the UAE, where I lived for 2 years. No one exactly.
This is amazing.
Wow.
Wait, so you DJ'd in London?
Okay, so
tell me the DJ story, because I'm a music before comedy was me as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's funny because every career I've ever had, I never like wanted to do it except for basketball, and then I got injured playing basketball, right?
Yeah.
So every other career that I had, I just kind of fell into. So like people would be like, oh, you should model, you're taller than this. So I went, fuck it, I'll do modeling. So I did that for 7 years. And then I started bartending, and then I moved to London. I was bartending in London, and then I was like, I'm making no money and I just hate everything and I'm so like tired. And I looked at the DJ and I was like, what's a way to make better money for like less hours? And I looked at the DJ and I was like, I'm gonna be a DJ. And then I told my boyfriend at the time, he's like, you can't just be a DJ. And I was like, oh really, bitch? Okay.
Yeah.
And then I was like, bang.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, I was like, challenge accepted. Okay. Yeah. And so then I just like became a DJ.
Right.
And then I DJ'd in London for 2 years, and then I got a contract in Abu Dhabi to DJ at a hotel, and you're like a resident in a hotel. And then literally, I think in my 3 months there, we had one guest, because it's like a brand new hotel. You know, they're popping
one guest?
Up. Yeah, one guest in the whole.
So what were you doing?
Bar.
You're just like, yeah.
Well, no, I was just like talking to the bartender, just like doing nothing.
Oh, hanging out.
Yeah.
You weren't like,
hey, all the people in the house say ho. No.
John's here.
Yeah, John's back. Hey, how are you?
Yeah.
No. So then, I was kind of getting fucked over by there was like a big scam kind of thing. So this agency who brings people, they fly you out from London and they put you in the hotel, and they charge the hotel like 20,000 dirham per month to keep you, but they pay you 5. And 5 is like nothing. 5 is like maybe $2,000 or something. But you're living in a 5-star hotel, and it's all very fun and games.
And that's all taken care of.
Everything's taken care of.
Yeah.
But at the time, I had like $40 in my bank, so I couldn't leave the hotel because I couldn't afford to get a cab, and they wouldn't pay me until I signed this crazy contract, which was like, you can never do anything else other than this kind of thing. And I had met the DJ prior to me, and she had never been paid. But
you were a good DJ. What kind of music?
I was a great DJ. Yeah, deep house.
Deep house.
And so I was getting flown to Kuwait for one night. I'm getting flown to, Qatar for one night. I'm doing a night in Lebanon. It's like, It was fucking sick. And I was like, I made like $80,000 in 6 months.
Yeah, you have the reach of a basketball player. Global, I can hold the world. Atlas.
Yeah. And then I was in Dubai for like 2 years, year and a half. And then I was like, because I was always trying to get to America, and then everyone in Dubai was kind of like, get out while you can, because it's so comfortable there and you make so much money that you just never leave.
Right. They're just you're just laying down, they're fanning you grapes. Yeah, obviously.
Exactly. Yeah. And so
did someone feed you grapes?
No.
Oh, damn.
I didn't pay anyone.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's people that it's very anyway.
Yeah.
So where are you from?
Canada.
Okay, but you look
Moroccan.
okay. There it is.
Yeah.
I'm like okay.
Not the question you were asking.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I was gonna bond with that because we both have the Queen in common. And trying to get to America is hard.
It's so hard, but it's easy for you because you can just jump over the border, sort of.
But it's hard to stay.
It is hard to say. You know, it's easy to go to Canada. You can get a 5-year working visa for like $160
as an Aussie.
Is it? Okay, yeah, it must be.
Yeah. Because we all the bogans, you send us all your bogans and they go snowboarding.
Because I'm like, I can either go to America and spend literally 12 years building up my resume, spend $5,000. I got my visa denied 3 times.
Three times?
Yeah, I'm up to like $20,000 in fucking legal fees.
Wow.
Cannot get to America, or I can just pop over to Canada for $100 and like just be a bartender over there. It's just like.
Did you ever do it?
No.
Canada wasn't good enough.
I've never
I get
been.
it.
It's too cold, I think. I had a friend and he's like, you should come to Canada. I'm like, it's too cold.
Vancouver's nice. Toronto's cold. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's not California.
No, I've never. Well, it's funny because I was gonna message you and be like, "Do I need a jacket? Is it cold in there?" Like,
yeah, I was gonna text you and say it is cold in here.
Really? Interesting. Well,
but it's better to be. It can also. It's the worst when you're doing a podcast when it's hot and you're like,
the worst.
So I'd rather it to be chill. I had the heater on before you came, so
nice.
Just to spice it up.
Thank you.
You know, you don't want to be cold during the podcast.
No,
it's
you
super
don't.
awkward because Perth is warm. I'd imagine.
Yes, Perth is warm, but we do have seasons though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like it's still
not
cold.
a desert,
right? It's still, but we actually just had the hottest. There was like the hottest 5-day stint since 1933 just happened.
That's good, right?
It's so funny because global warming is like, fuck yeah. Like it's so it was 1933 and then it was like 2006 and then it was 2008 and then twice in 2022. 2021, 2022. So like nothing happened for almost 100 years and then bang, 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 all within the space of 5. Like,
so what you're saying is global warming is not real?
Exactly.
Okay,
yes. My
cool.
dad says there's no such thing as global warming. It's only hot because of the sun. And I said, okay, Dad, sure.
Pass the avocados. Because there's avocados growing.
Yeah.
I'm going through all my Aussie tropes.
I know, yeah. I'm like,
you walk around and you pick avocados.
Yep. And
You
bananas.
shake bananas. You say hi to koala bears and kangaroos.
Have you seen a quokka?
A quokka?
A quokka. So I'm from Perth, which is so Australia's like this, right? I'm on the left. So it's almost like LA, New York. So I'm on the left where LA is.
Canadians know geography.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Yeah. Forgetting you not. And so you take a 45-minute ferry over there and there's an island called Rottnest Island, and Rottnest is like Latin or whatever. Rot used to be rat. Right? And so it's like rat. So they didn't know what these things were. There's these animals on this island and they look like kind of giant rat. They look like marsupials with a big long tail, but they've got they're so cute if you look at them. They've got like a little rabbit kind of face with no ears and little hands like this, and they're called quokkas. Okay. And they just kind of roll around.
They're cute rats.
Oh my God. Yeah. They're like tiny little kangaroos, but
okay.
like rats.
Quokkas.
Quokka.
Quokka.
Yeah. Quakka.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a nice cracker. Pass me a quokka.
Yeah, pass me a quokka with Vegemite. Thank you. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so quokkas are cute, but they're rats.
Cute. Well, they didn't know what they were, so they just called them rats. But now they know that they're not
Now
rats.
we know better. Yeah. But you made it here and you love it here and you're in comedy.
Yeah. That's the other thing. So I never was like, I'm going to be a comedian. I just kind of, everyone, my whole life was like, you should do whatever.
That's what happened to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't start out doing it, but people always told me I should do it. And then I didn't understand that it was a real thing.
Yeah, I just never thought about it. Like, I remember one time I'm like at the beach and someone said something funny and I did a callback and someone went, oh, you should be a comedian. You just did a great callback. I'm like, what's a callback? I don't know what the fuck that is, right? And so, yeah, then I came here. Still wasn't even. I like went to a friend's show in the Belly Room at the Comedy Store. And still was just like, oh, this is cool. Like, oh, good job. I'm really proud of you, whatever. And just never even thought about it and just went back to my life and whatever.
Yeah. Jigga Jigga, that life?
No, not Jigga Jigga. I stopped Jigga Jigga when I got here because the music here was so awful that I just
No deep house.
No, not unless. So the places where, you know, the big whatevers they're playing that screeching like EDM like with the fucking whistles and the bullshit, and it's like, oh my God, it's horrible. So I'm like, if I want to be a DJ here and like play what I want to play, firstly, there's like no money, and secondly, I'm like a 35-year-old woman who has to now like hang out in a downtown dirty warehouse with these 21-year-old dudes and be like, hey guys, you want to like give me a shot? And I'm like, ew, I'm not gonna do that, you know. So hopefully, one of my goals in 2022 is like to DJ more. So hopefully, like I don't know, I'm trying to make a name where I can be like, because no one knows anything about me, right?
I actually don't even know what deep house is. So
deep house, you know what house is?
Yeah, but to me, electronic music is not like what I listen to, so it's all just a big blur. Like if you played me two different things, I'd understand the differences. Yeah. But like if you told me to tell you what they are, I can't.
So I'm gonna. The main thing that I play. So there's this French producer called Armin Edge.
Okay, and I've heard of him.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay, so he coined G House.
G House.
And so G House basically is like rap songs from the 90s, like Biggie and Tupac, like going like,
it was all a dream?
Yeah, it was all a dream. And then the bass is like this real like bow, 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 and then it was all a dream. Bow, 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 bow. It's like, so he, I sound insane.
No, this is good.
So I'm
with you. I'm following.
Yeah, if you heard it, it's like, it's so good. And so I love to take the songs that have familiar lyrics, because people, you know, it's like with comedy, like, is it like comedy? I don't know if so when you're DJing, people are like, play something we can dance to, and you're like, well, I'm not going to play fucking Michael Jackson or Rihanna, but that's all that people want to hear, like commercial music.
Yeah.
But you're like, I'm trying to be an artist, man, you know. And so like when you're playing what you would normally play, what I think is good music, and someone comes up and says, hey, I really love this song. I love what you're doing. This is great. I've never heard any of these songs. I've done good as a DJ. So you could say, you know how you say like you're a comics comic? I would say I'm like a DJ's DJ, right? Because DJs would be like, man, you're fucking great. I've never heard any of these songs. And that's the aim, is to play stuff you've never heard.
Right,
but when people
to expand your mind.
Yeah, but when people come to a bar, they, you know, they're like, I don't know any of this stuff. Like, I'm not gonna get, you know.
Yeah. They want to hear the hits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, which, you know, me being like,
it's like kind of like being a hack DJ, like playing top 40.
So I'm like, this guy fucking with his guitar is crushing right now, and then I don't know.
But with DJing, in that space, it's like I remember hearing these great stories from Questlove where he was like, hey, I'm playing for Prince and I'm so excited, and I put together this amazing playlist of like Fela Kuti and all that stuff, and he's playing Fela Kuti. This video's on the internet, you have to watch it. And then Prince comes and says, hey, I'm not feeling it, can you play this? And he hands them the Finding Nemo DVD.
Oh my God, as a joke, like
play this.
Oh my God.
And he did the same thing. Another great story of his was he was doing something for Barack Obama, and he put together an amazing playlist. And at some point, they're like, Barack Obama came up and said, could you play some more popular stuff?
Yeah, see that.
And he's like, I was mad because I caved. He's like, next time I need to do what you're saying, is like teach the people. And
so here's my thing. How far did that get me? Not that far. So it's like, I'm going, well, I'm an artist and I want to be whatever. But it's like, well, I could have just I'm not going to sell out. Am I allowed to swear?
You can swear.
So I'm like, I'm not going to sell out. But hey, guess what, guy? If you had sold out, you'd be making millions right now, because there's people who I know who are just DJing these huge fucking festivals and like this and that.
Do they have a marshmallow head?
No, but that's that kind of music's terrible for me. I think that kind of music is just
but it's
terrible.
Different demographic, right? It skews younger, I think.
Yes.
And it's good marketing. Like everyone knows the brand.
Is good. That's okay. So that's another thing. So when I got to America, I went, I've always been DJ Sarah Lawrence, but so I come from DJing in London, where it's very serious and everyone just uses their name, and that's it, because it's no gimmicks, because it's about the music. And then you come to America, complete excuse me.
DJ Henry VIII. What? That's my name.
It's like the complete opposite. You got Marshmallow. You've got I can't
Diplo.
even think of any of them. Diplo. You've got not Grimes, but
Armin van Buuren.
yeah,
That's more of a name, right?
That guy's name. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But he's from
Germany, right?
Europe. Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
he doesn't have DJ Dickface,
Right.
So then I
He's
go,
great.
all right, he's great. He actually plays bangers. So no pun
And Mash.
intended. What?
And MASH. That was it. We're on topic. We're in London.
Okay, so then I go, let me rebrand. I'm going to rebrand. I'm going to be DJ Imperial. And it was
Okay.
very important for me that I was genderless.
Right.
Because I'm like, people don't book a female DJ who's not naked.
Right.
Right? So I come over here, I see a lot of tits, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that. So I go, and then I see DJ, there's this chick called Grimes, and
Yeah,
she's
Grimes.
in London. Right. So no one knew that she was a chick, and she was producing all this music, and they were like, this is fucking awesome. And then they book her, and she shows up, and she's a girl, and they're like, what? And I went, I'm going to do that. So I take a DJing course. I'm like in this Ableton course, I'm making music, I'm changing my name, I'm rebranding all my photo shoots, I'm wearing like a white button-up shirt. I'm like, maybe I can be like a gay and lesbian DJ where I'm like androgynous and no one, whatever.
So your hair's back. You're trying to.
Yeah, and my hair's back, and I'm like, because I also went and I saw this girl in Vegas, and she had a fucking suit, and she looked so hot, and she was like this, and she was cool. And the whole point is, let me play what I want to play because I am my own thing. Don't tell me what to play. And so that's why I like comedy, because no one tells you what to wear or what to do or anything.
But you could be the same in comedy. You could like rely on your hits instead of expanding.
Yeah, but I think that makes you want to kill yourself. Because
Yeah.
that's what's been happening recently. Is I'm like, I don't want to keep saying these jokes from 4 years ago. Like I would rather quit. So what's that?
It's a gold record.
Okay.
I just took it down because I don't want to have it in the frame because it
Doesn't want to have it
to-
in frame, but I just pointed it out, so now you have to tell us about it.
Oh, it's from. It was one of my very first. I was like a second engineer on Theory of a Dead Man.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, in
Does
Canada.
that mean that it sold?
For Canada, gold is 50,000. Wow. Yeah, not bad. It's my first real.
That
was my first real thing when I was getting started.
This is fucking cool, and that's what you still do.
No, so I was doing engineering and mixing and producing, and then
Mm-hmm.
I moved to the business side, and then I moved into comedy.
Okay, so you comedy full time. You don't even do anything anymore.
I do a little bit of stuff here and there in music, but mostly focusing on the comedy and the podcast. And, there's so much time everything takes. It's hard to divide your time into what.
Everything's so time consuming, and I'm just like want to pay everyone to do everything.
It feels like every day it's already 3 p.m. and you're like,
I know.
what happened?
Yep.
I'm like, I did 3 posts and did my email blast and it's 3 p.m. I'm like,
I was like on TikTok or whatever the other day. I'm trying to make and I'm like, I know it's like 10 minutes, but it's just the act of looking down in my phone. I hate it so much. And like once that post is done, I'm like, oh, thank God for that.
but like we're not, we're like, this is our workspace now, a little 3x5
it's like,
thing.
And I was trying to like open TikTok on desktop. I'm going, can I just do it on the computer? And I look straight.
They're like, no, old person.
Yeah, and they're like, no, everything has to be mobile.
Yeah.
So it takes so long, especially
If
when
you log on to TikTok on your desktop, it just deletes your account.
Yeah, it just goes.
You're like, you're not
too
allowed.
old. Yeah,
You're
you
not
passed the
allowed.
threshold of I really need a cough.
Cough away. There's no airborne viruses that we have to worry about.
Oh my God! So this is still COVID. So let me just.
What do you mean it's still COVID?
So I had COVID like 3 months ago, but it's just lingering COVID.
Right.
And your face just.
You should lead with 3
Sorry,
months ago.
Sorry. I thought I'd build it up so that you freaked out.
I did.
Yeah. So apparently you still get that just
Were you very sick from it?
all the time. I was for like 2-3 days. I kind of had the body aches, and I just had a headache like right here. Take some pills, it's good. Woke up in the middle of the night one time with a splitting headache, and then I was kind of good, but it's this lingering thing that's got this back of my throat, just kind of just there.
But it'll pass, hopefully, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't lose my smell.
That's
and
good.
all that, which is good.
Yeah. You can smell the coffee in the morning or whatever you drink.
I think that would fuck with your mind a little bit, I think.
Yeah, but it's also a good indication of like, I have it, I don't. It's kind of nice. It's a nice feature to be like, oh, you definitely have you definitely have COVID.
Yeah.
But going back to DJing, could you come so I have the new Comedy Bunker, which is at the Kibitz Room, which is historically a music.
Kibitz room?
it's historically a music venue. It's like where Guns N' Roses did their first LA show and stuff like that. But we've been looking for like we could turn into like a fun DJ. Let's do a deep house night.
Oh my God. Are you shitting me?
I'm serious.
That's
we'll do it after
great.
the show.
Yes.
You can perform on the show and do the DJ if you want.
Because I have my own stuff too, just sitting collecting dust at my house.
Brush it off. Let's go.
Oh my God, that's so great. And also, by the way, kids, this is how old I am, and also this is also. So I have problems, right?
You don't have like a creative vinyl and turntables.
I have CDs.
CD DJ.
What do you mean?
Like you're doing a CD DJ?
Yeah.
That's not that old.
Well, even when I started doing it, people weren't doing it. And then I've got such mental problems that I was like, fuck everyone. I'm I'm stubborn, whatever. Because also I'm going, that one song that I know that I don't remember the name of, because you got thousands of songs. I'm going, that one song that I know it's in this sheet. I know it's on like sheet 4,
Track
CD
8.
number 2.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. I don't remember what it's called. Now, I know it was on that CD in this certain sheet. If I'm using a USB, just turning, it's not going to spark my memory. I'm not going to go, oh, it's turn number 75.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's kind of like writing on paper versus writing in a computer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can remember how you wrote. And that's another thing is I would handwrite all of the songs for the playlist on the CD, so I can remember like one of them. Oh, well, I know that one I highlighted orange. So, so stupid. But now I'm like, okay, when people see me doing that, because I stood fast to it, because I'm like, these laptops are bullshit, and I used to hashtag like laptops are bullshit or whatever in my like
right on your laptop.
On my laptop, and then, but now when people see me, they go, respect, like good, you're actually doing it. Because if someone has a laptop, you never know if they're actually doing it, because the programs that you use to mix on the laptop automatically sync the fucking songs for you.
Yeah, all the BPMs.
So instead
synced.
of you sitting here going, let me line it up with my own brain and my own ear. We're dancing.
Right.
It's you just press the thing on the laptop and it automatically does it. And then that's why you see so many DJs and they've just got the headphones are just like this and they're mixing. And if you see a DJ without going like this,
they don't know what's happening.
They're not doing it.
Yeah.
And so then the CD gives me an extra layer of like, well,
she's legit.
God, I've got real problems, huh? But I could have just sold out, played Mary Poppins, and made
it's important.
millions of dollars.
I was, I don't know how to say this without sounding like it's a humble brag. It's not. It's totally related to your thing.
Have you seen that gold record over there?
So,
that's for 50,000.
I was Swedish House Mafia performed here, and I'm I know them a little bit, but one of my good friends is very good friends with them. So we were hanging out with them on stage while they did their show.
Oh, sick!
And so I was watching them do it, and they have a stack of CDs like this high, and none of them are like they're barely labeled.
Yeah.
And they're like boom, 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 boom. This is 2000. This is 2009.
They can just throw them in.
They're just throwing in. And I'm like, how?
Yeah.
I asked them. I was like, how are you doing this? He's like, kind of like what you're saying. It's like I know where everything is. I have them lined up in order. Then I know that after this one, I go to this one, and if I want to go to that one, I go to this one. And if I need, like, he knew where everything was, and I'm like, that's so smart.
Well, see, that also kind of. So, okay, for shows like that, they have to have the playlist already organized because they have fireworks and all that kind of shit happening.
They weren't quite as... This was like at a 300-person place off of La Brea.
Wow. Okay.
So it was a smaller... It wasn't like a pyro stadium one.
So, but I'm saying the fact that he has all the CD and he goes this, like that's great because sometimes you might do a mix and you might fuck it up, but sometimes... sometimes you get that perfect thing where you go, oh my God, because you don't know how. So when I start, so one song will be playing. This, I don't know if anyone gives a shit. So one song is playing and then
we give a shit. If you give a shit and I give a shit, we give a shit.
You give a shit. Okay.
I give a shit.
So one song is playing and this is how I was taught. So this song is playing to you. This song is playing in my earphones. I will skip forward to see at what point the beat drops. And if I know that the beat, it's like it's building up for a minute, and then after a minute is when it drops. Oh, it drops at 59 seconds. Then I will mix this one in when this one has about 59 seconds to go, or maybe a minute and a half, whatever, fade it out early. And so then you get that perfect moment when this one is just like fading out and then this one, and then there's no gap and you're like, bang. And so the fact that they have all their CDs already stacked, they already know this one works with it. Because sometimes you do one and you're like, this didn't work.
Yeah. But they are adjusting. Like they're like, oh, then if I notice the crowd isn't liking it, I can go here. So
okay.
It felt like to me, they were saying it's organized, but I also can have cleaner access to it. Because it was still like CDs were old in 2009, it felt like. And they were still doing CDs.
What's funny when I'm like, yeah, I have a new song to play tonight. Let me just, I'm like burning the CD, like, and you know if it's a really good song.
Yeah, do you even have a CD burner?
I do. Yeah, it's like tucked away in my drawer in my desk, just in case anyone ever gives a shit anymore. But all my songs are like 12 years old now, which might be good to do like a,
So we're doing a
throwback
2001 night.
It's well, when did I start? It'll be a 2011.
2011. All right. Well, since none of us know what Deep House is, and Americans certainly don't, it'll be great. We'll be like, this is the newest, hottest thing in Australia. You better get with it.
Yeah, dude, we pump
you
it
could
up
bring
like
it back.
Yeah, fuck yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, and you mentioned when you came here, you didn't want to do like the revealing kind of girl DJ.
Well, because I had just come from Ibiza. There's this one girl in Ibiza, and she goes like this, and she kicks her. She got massive fake tits. She wears just tassels on her boobs, and she just does like huge fake kicks and like just dances around and barely DJs, but it's more about the dancing and it's a show.
Right.
Whatever. And so then I could just come from Dubai, where in Dubai, instead of them asking to send your press kit, they ask you to send a photo. And it used to fucking piss me off to no end because I'm like, oh, you're
just a photo.
Just a photo.
Yeah.
Hey, we're looking for a DJ for this night. Please send a photo. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
How do you know that, and that's how they were booking it. And so then I ended up writing for this magazine, writing all these like slam pieces on shit. Like I've got real problems. And so yeah, you're saying that, and then I came
because they're using the hot girl thing to get in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, this one person who you're booking fucking sucks, but because she's not wearing any clothes, you keep booking her and she's making millions of dollars. And it's like, it's just annoying. Just like, don't call it a DJ then. Just say, hey, we're looking for a hot chick to play music. Don't say we're looking for a DJ, must play this kind of music, send a photo.
It is a quicker way to get in. And there's a great story Jamie Foxx told where he's like, I was trying to get on open mics and I was tired of like not getting
Kennedy.
Jamie Foxx.
Did
I say Jamie Kennedy?
You said Jamie Foxx, but I listened to your podcast with Jamie Kennedy.
This is just a story of Jamie Foxx.
Okay, interesting. So I was like, I got him.
Yeah. So he was saying that like he was trying to get on these open mics and he was tired of not getting pulled or selected. So he signed up and changed his name to Jamie Foxx with a bunch of X's. So all the bookers would think it's a hot girl. And then they'd say, oh, next up, Jamie Foxx. And he'd walk up and they'd be like, motherfucker.
Right. Yeah. Well, when I was doing Kill Tony, I think I put Imperial or some shit and they picked me.
Okay.
And it's like, because everything is a gimmick here, and it's like, if you don't, I'm designing big heads to kind of DJ with, and it's like, do I wear a mask? The newest guy now is this guy called Sick, and he got big on TikTok because he's wearing a fucking mask, and it's like, can't I just be like, hey guys, it's Cyril, you wanna, nobody gives a shit because
it's hard to cut through all the noise. It's online and without their brand being so like,
but that's
it's
a
guy.
Brand. But that, I mean, he's doing a fucking great, like his set and his backdrop is incredible. His masks are like glitter and diamonds and this and that. And but he actually does reveal his face, but it's like that's his thing. And you go, oh, sick, the guy with the mask, the TikTok guy, the guy with the cool, whereas if you go like, Sarah, that stupid lesbian who went to Sarah Lark, it's like nobody, it's not,
But that's kind of part of our job, is to be great at the craft and add the brand layer on top. Because those, we all have friends that are doing that right now and they're killing it.
Yes, but that's the thing, is I think you need to find it. I am glad that, because I'm just finding it now kind of thing. And I was listening to a podcast the other day and Jim Gaffigan said comedians are an identity crisis. And I was like, oh my God, I've never resonated with anything more, because I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. I'm buying clothes every other day, trying to see like what fits me and my giantness and like what doesn't make me look super gay, because everyone thinks I'm gay, which is fine.
Gaffigan is a great guest on an interview. Yeah. I think I was listening to the same one.
Yes, was. I think he was with. No, it wasn't. I don't remember, but it came out like a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
comedians are in an identity crisis, and I was like, oh my God, that's so great, because I'm getting up on stage going like, do you guys like me?
Well,
Like,
not only comedians, but like the world is an identity crisis.
Yeah.
And so comedians, since our identity is so forward and on stage all the time, it's
Yeah.
extra like, what is happening?
Yeah.
I do feel that there's a moment in comedy right now where it's like, what is happening? Like it just feels like a bizarro land, and the landscape's changing, and everything just feels weird. I can't explain it. It just feels like not right. And I don't know why. It could just be me
It's not, no, because
coming
it's
out of the
not-
pandemic and being at home too much, but
Yeah, but because you're not out every night.
No.
Unless you are. I don't know.
I'm not out every night because,
I'm
right
never
now
out.
I'm getting like 2-ish shows a week,
Great.
and then I don't go out and hang out anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't even imagine going to the store. It's like people who've been to the store, like, it's fucking weird there now. And it's like going from it being jam-packed every
Yeah.
night. You always go there. You
You're
go
hugging,
there
you're
at the
saying
start
hi
of
to
the night,
everyone. Yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
there. You can always see someone you know.
Yeah.
You can go at 2 a.m. right as they're closing and see whoever you want. You pop in the main room. You can do this, do that. You hang out. You can't do that anymore. So it's like, to go from that to like, I don't even go out. And I'm like, I used to love this shit, and I used to be out every single night, and I used to do mics, and I used to do shows, and I used to hang out, and I used to walk. I used to go to the Laugh Factory, do a set, walk to the Comedy Store, hang out for 20 minutes, walk back to the Laugh Factory. It was like my life. And now I'm like, I'm busy. I don't know. I have like things to do. And the
Yeah.
thought of like going to a mic is like, it's just,
No, there's just like, there's such a risk reward that we have to calculate now with the pull of COVID, but also the pull of online. It's like, where should I be putting my time?
yeah, that's the other thing. And now because I'm having this shift of like, because my business, I don't know if you know about
No, what is your, oh, is it
cocktails.
the cocktail? Yeah.
Yeah.
I have that on my list to talk
So,
about. Yeah.
okay. Am I jumping the gun?
No, go.
So that is really where I want to put all of my energy. And talking about like having an online brand and a persona or whatever, that's what I am. That guy, the
Yeah.
cocktail. Hey, we're making a cocktail. Da, da, da,
You're so
Sarah.
passionate about it and you're great at
Yeah,
it.
and I can't. I talk to Amir, like he has to stop me from working, because I'm like, I will work until I go to bed.
I mean,
and
he's
I'll-
pretty working a lot too. All right.
It's mostly both, but so I'm like work, and I fucking love it, and I can't stop. And then I started this like YouTube thing where I'm like making cocktails, and I'm like, I have all these ideas of like, well, once that takes off, then I'm gonna have a show, and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna have guests on, I'm gonna do this and da da da, and that's where everything is pushing me, and that's where I can see the niche that I have. Because all these people who like make drinks online and stuff, it's all dudes, and they're all so boring. No
Right.
offense, but it's like, fuck, man. I like watch some of these videos. I'm like, what are you? And they're like, hi, welcome to my channel. I'm trying to making an old fashioned.
Do they have mustache?
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
one of those, and it's
What's
like
and suspenders and a white shirt?
It's like, all right, and it's so fucking boring. And so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do something different. And so I shot like 25 videos, and like putting them out.
25?
Yeah. So putting one out a week, and then I've been making like brand partnerships. Where there's this thing called Free Spirits, which is where it's non-alcoholic. You can dial it down if you like.
Yeah.
And then I had an interview, not an interview, but like a thing. It's like a manufacturing company who make like bar tools. They want to get my idea. They want to send me free shit. They want to be
Nice.
It's like,
so you're looped in with some
yeah.
corporate action here.
So I find like I get my sense of like, you're enough, not from comedy, but from that. Because I'm like well known in the industry. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but then I am getting a little bit from comedy now, but I'm just like having an identity crisis. But I was like, not wanting to continue with comedy for a bit.
Really?
Because everything just kind of changed, and I was like, I just like don't love it anymore, but I'm kind of getting there.
Yeah. But you can always,
Again.
like, it doesn't need to be a continuous path either. It could be like, I just needed to step back for a minute, focus on this. And it's always there. I think COVID showed us it's always
Yeah,
there. Like, you
yeah.
can step away and come back.
Yeah, I
If you
think
need the time to.
It was tough in December because I'm getting messages like, can you host a show or can you be here or whatever? And I'm like, I had more events last year, just in the 5 months that we were open, than I did obviously the previous year, but like, in 2019. So I was so busy towards the end of the year last year that I was just like, I can't do comedy. But now, of course, it's January, February. There's nothing to do. And so I'm like, all right, well, maybe I can.
Hey, funny story.
Hey, so you're still up? Yeah.
I love making drinks, and I actually did one during the middle of the 2020 pandemic. I took out my phone. I was like, all right, it's cocktails with Latif. I'm gonna make some sort of like I think I made a Moscow Mule or something, and I picked a grapefruit from my tree, and then I squeezed it and I made it, and it was totally haphazard, but I enjoyed doing it. It was fun. I only did one just for fun, but and since then I've stopped drinking. But
oh, have you? I think that's smart. I think I kind of.
It's been 4 months. So
great.
Yeah.
Just for health or just for focus?
My buddy Matt, Matty Chimber.
Yeah.
We were doing a hike, and he's like, I stopped drinking for this month. I'm like, I'll stop drinking too.
January or
this was like in September.
Oh.
And so I did a month too, and then I just kind of kept going.
Yeah, it's like there's no need. I don't need
except for the drinks on your channel, which you should make and consume.
Well, the thing that's funny is I'm like, I could very well be sober, but I have a cocktail company, so I can't, and I'm trying to encourage everyone to drink. So it's good for me because I don't drink nearly as much as I used to. And so when I do drink, it's like a little treat, it's like once a month, and I'm like with a friend, I'm like, oh, look at me with a drink. Oh, it's like a little, but, what was I going to say? When I was like really, really, really doing comedy, like right before the pandemic, like February, and I was getting like 3 shows a night and I'm crushing it and everything's great. And I'm waking up at 8 a.m. and I'm writing and I'm listening to my tapes and I'm writing new bits and I'm like in the flow. I was absolutely not drinking. And I think that that's honestly like the way to go for everyone, especially like a lot of people we know.
Well, it's hard to have the commitment to do those things.
Well, it's not worth it. It's like if we go out and have a drink, like I've found now that if I go out and have a drink, I'm hungover 2 hours later. I'm like on the couch literally 2 hours later with a headache. And I'm like, what? And it's just, it's not worth that hangover where it's like I could have been up and being productive and like living my life where it's like crunch time now. Like let's get some
it affects your skin and how you feel. And
your face is all fat when you wake up and you're just like, Jesus Christ, like what for? To have the same night I've had 100 times, thousands of times.
Yeah, I think that's part of just, getting older and having done it. You're like, I've done this. Yeah. Yes. And time for the next generation to do that.
Exactly. Yeah. I couldn't think of anything worse than like it's funny because it's like you think about how much you used to drink when you're a kid and you would have like, you go to your friend's house and you get shit housed before you go out. Yeah. And you're just, you're sloshing around, you're in the cab and you get there and then you're doing shots at the bar. It's like, I would die. Like I'll have like a shot and a beer and I'm pretty good.
Yeah. But that's like, just like how comedy can become your identity, the drinking can become your identity. It's like, that's who I am. And in order to have fun, and you said a great term earlier, is it self-worth, or I get my something from comedy?
Oh yeah. I think it was like your sense of,
fulfillment.
You're enough.
You're enough. Yeah. Some people get that from drinking. You're enough from, for
what
sure.
Do you mean? Oh, because that's
they're with their friends. Escape. Yeah. They can escape. They're validated. They have a lot of tension. They feel free.
I think the older you get, that won't be a problem anymore. I know we know some people. I used to go to the store and every single time this guy would be there and he'd just be hammered and he was like 40 or something. I'm like, what are you doing? And you do this every day. And also, how's your bank account? It's like, I can't.
How's your liver?
Yeah, your liver, your bank account, your productivity. Like, what is your job? I'm just like fascinated by everyone's like, what is your job? How do you make money? What's going on?
I have some friends who are like, oh my God, this is like the funnest person ever. And then they just cross that line on drinking and you're like, they've gone too far. And now they're just like, they cross from like funnest, like most party person to like alcoholic. Yeah. And you're like, oh, what happened
There's a lot of people we know who are using, drinking and drugs to escape instead of going to therapy. I have therapy at 3 p.m. because I cried yesterday eating a sandwich for no reason. And I was like, I think I should call my
You cried eating the sandwich?
Yeah. I don't know. I was watching, Afterlife?
No.
So Ricky Gervais has this.
Oh
my God.
It's hard to watch.
Yeah. And I was like, so basically his wife dies. This is not a spoiler. So there's 3 seasons. I just finished the 3rd season. But his wife died and it's just this very lonely guy with a dead wife who's just like so fucking sad. And it's like, it's so good. And I was just like, like crying and eating a sandwich. I'm like, let me just refresh my, But there's a lot of friends, and instead of going to therapy and really we're like, something happened to you when you were a kid, and they're like, no, everything's fine, and you're like, okay, well, just go and drink again then, and you'll be fine. But it's like, at what point is that not exciting anymore? It's like every single night you're getting fucked up beyond recognition till 7, 8 in the morning, 4 p.m. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's hard.
When I feel the best is when I'm working out and I'm eating well.
Yeah, I've been working out like crazy too. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life right now.
I was in the
like,
best shape of my life right in the middle of the pandemic, and then I got in love and we got fat. But...
A fat love?
Yeah, we both.
Is that just because you eat well, or are you just hanging out?
Well, so we were like working out and this and that, and then we met, and then we were just eating and staying in.
Yeah,
we were like, I don't give a fuck anymore,
I think I got the heaviest during the pandemic too, because it was kind of like, hey, everyone stay home and just eat and order in. And you're like,
yeah.
And the more you order in, that food is always just gonna have more calories.
Well, I was the opposite. So I was like, I broke my pelvis when I was 16.
Okay.
And so I've basically never exercised ever since because it fucking hurts. And so I have been like really unfit, like just like I'm not a big fat guy obviously, but like even just like walking around the block, like so the pandemic started and I went, I'm going to start walking around the block. And I'm not even kidding you. I couldn't even make it half a block without like,
do you smoke?
No. And so I'm going shit. And so every day I would walk one block and then I walk another block and then I walk another block, another one. Then, by like September, I'm running to the park. I'm doing fucking sit-ups. I was so jacked. I put a little motivational photo of myself next to my computer. So anytime I like want to eat something bad, I like look at her and I'm like, no, don't do it.
Like, was she scolding you?
No, it's me with a sports bra and little bike shorts, just like taking a selfie in the mirror.
Like, this is who you are.
Yeah, and I'm like, fuck, man, I look so good. And then just gave up kind of because and then we had to go back into isolation. Then I had a boyfriend. I was like, fuck it, we're like, so I'm trying again to get there again. But it's just like it's a constant thing unless it's like with the drinking, unless you're doing it every single day. It's like you eat one thing and then you're like, oh man, now I'm back.
I'm at the point where I work out 6 days a week.
That's
and that
great.
7th day I take a break. Like I don't want to. But like you should take a break once a week. But it's just like because you get into the zone and you're kind of you in a way become addicted to that.
Yeah. Well, so when 2020, where are we?
2022. I know. On my workout this morning, I wrote January 29th, 2020. Yeah. That's what I wrote today.
I've been dating. Like I went to the DMV or whatever. I dated at 2020. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. So when in the lead up to New Year's, I threw a bunch of shit out in my house, right? And just Marie Kondoing, just fucking everything, like pots, pans, like
I've done that
bullshit. Yeah, and it felt so good. My house like empty, and I'm like, right, working out. So the 31st, I did the walk, and I basically, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's like a lot for me. I walk for a mile, I come home, I do sit-ups and whatever else, little yoga,
little cardio, little sit-up, yeah.
And so I did that every single day for 12 days. I was like, I'm fucking loving it. I'm like, does 2022 feel different to you? Because it feels different to me. Yeah. And I got this little app. It's called the Cross Out app. And you go through and every single day you cross it out and you see the calendar and you're like so motivated. And then guess what? I hurt myself. And so then I was like, oh, I can't. So now I'm fat and sad again. I'm sitting here like I can't work out.
Yeah.
And I'm fat for me. And so then I'm like, so with my injury, I can't work out every day or else I fuck myself in the end. So I'm like, okay, you have to just do it every other day. And that's all you're allowed to do. And just, it's hard because I used to train so much that it's hard for me to just like sit, especially when I'm in the zone. I've got the endorphins and every single day I'm waking up. The first thing I'm doing is going on my walk and I'm calling people going, this is great. I can't believe it. Like, and I'm getting so much work done because you wake up and you do the walk and then you sit down and you and then I'm like so productive,
Comedy and DJing are good career choices for you because it's like, here's Sarah, this space, and you occupy all of it. There's hand motions, there's telephones, there's bicycles.
Show you this thing.
It's great. Like,
look at this Cross Out app. This is bad for the podcast, but look how good it is.
Oh, you have the mini phone.
Yes.
Is it great?
The other one is too big for my hand.
I like it.
And also I'm a girl, so we have smaller pockets. And
no pockets at all.
Or no fucking pockets. So it
that's my Cross Out app over there.
Wow.
Those are the days I've written this year. Obviously, I have some work to do.
Wow. So for everyone listening, there's a 1 cross. January 14th, 15th. 16th.
Yeah. So time to get back on it.
Good times. That's for writing though. That's not for working out.
That's for writing. Working out I haven't missed. And I've actually missed like maybe one more X.
So you force yourself to sit down and, write? Like do you go through tapes? Like what do you do?
I have notes, like ideas in my notes here. Like, oh, that might be funny. And then I take that and I try to develop it into something and either it stays or it doesn't.
And then you take it out that night with a...
And then, if I have a show that night, I'll be like, all right, these are the things. I'll be like, oh, that'll give me another chance to be like, that's good. That's good. This is actually not good. And then I'll write them down on the pad like this.
Yeah.
And I put this on the stool. And that's what I do.
Okay. At a show?
Yeah.
And you're okay doing that at a show?
I am. Like, I mean, if it was like, I wouldn't do that at the Comedy Store necessarily,
Right.
but like if it's a show that's not at a club where no one cares, I would.
I had a show there was 6 people in the crowd, and I desperately didn't want to. Like, I have a lot of anxiety about shows now because I just don't want to do them. I used to like be pumped, and now I just don't want to do them.
Yeah.
How about I pour it into the mug so we don't?
That's okay. That was good.
Hilarious.
This is a real like sporty water bottle.
Thank you. I have 2 of them, and I bought dude. I bought a backpack, and it has little holes on. It has little pockets on either side, and they fit these fucking giant things, and so they go. And I have 2.
You're like your own Jeep.
Yeah. So I go, and there's 6 people in the crowd, which was actually awesome because I was like, I don't want to do these jokes from 4 years ago. I'm sick of everything. I hate comedy. Everything sucks. I'm not funny. And now there's fucking 6 people. I was like, this is actually great because you can't do material to 6 people. So I just went up and just talked to them for 15 minutes and just hung out and just did whatever and had a beer. And
Did you go into a bit? Maybe one or 2. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. But mostly it was, I said something and then this guy said, you can't say that. And I said, why can't I say that? And then we have a little thing. Yeah. And I was like, it was fun. And and then as I'm leaving, there was another show going on outside, and the guy who was hosting was like, oh my God, Sarah, like, come jump on my show. And I was like, okay, great. Yes, I'm famous. Thank you. Yeah. And so then I go on that show and then I fucking crushed. And I think I'm the best when I am manic, because I only had 7 minutes. And so I'm like, I don't know, doing that, and I'm like, and I can't get into that joke because but I think it was a really great crowd too. And I also had had a beer. So, it was a little bit relaxed.
You were free. You were in the zone.
But I don't like to have that as a crutch. And I never drink before I go up. But I was like, fuck it, I don't want to be here. But that kind of renewed...
These are all great names for your specials. Fuck it, I don't want to be here. I'm so over it. I'm not funny. This could be like...
I'm not funny. It's pretty good. Just set the bar really low, But so it kind of, and I left going like, oh, I think I am a comedian, it's like but the circumstances were perfect. And again, there's only 20 people outside, but everyone was super responsive, and then people are coming up after. So I opened for Bobby Lee in Brea, and I got 6 followers, and then I got 7 followers from the Haha that night. So it's like, I did 5 shows, sold out in Brea, and got 6 followers. So that's 1 a show. And then I do 7 minutes on the outside stage at the Haha and crush, and got the more followers from that.
That might be because they have their phones though, at the Haha show.
Well, whatever.
Because basically
those 7 people were remembering.
You can't have your phone there, right?
Yeah, you can. That's only for like
Hollywood.
No, that's only if they make you do it, which he doesn't.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's only you mean put them in the sack? Well,
they're pretty diligent about saying, people walking around saying at Hollywood and saying, hey, don't take out your phone. They kind of like walk back and forth.
Well, let's say it's because of that. But basically it's because I didn't do well and everyone.
Oh, that could be it too. Yeah. So you basically got 100% conversion.
Yeah, I'm
to
like
SarahLawrence.com or at Sarah.
Well, dude, I can't have SarahLawrence.com because of that bloody school.
Are you SarahLawrence1.com?
No, I am SarahLawrenceOnline.com, I think. I don't know. Fuck, I haven't been on there. I have Sarah Lawrence Host. I have DJ Sarah Lawrence. I used to have
Imperial.
I have imperialmusic.com.
Oh, that's probably worth something.
Thank you. But Imperial is spelled with a 3. Because I'm like, it's not enough to have a gimmick of Imperial. It's got to be Imperial with a 3.
It's got to be hard to spell.
Yeah. It's got to have a fucking... And then I did this photo shoot where we drew like 3s on my arm with like Sharpies. And I was like, what? with like
I'm going to come to America. I'm going to call myself imperialism. What's wrong with that?
Oh my God. You know what? I was just driving down the Imperial Highway and I was like, that's a good name. And then just did that. Yep.
Oh.
Look, do you like that? Motivation.
Is your bank account balance?
That's my motivational bank account balance.
I like it.
Thank you.
All you have to do is Google yourself, because online it says your net worth is between $1 and $5 million.
I know. And when I first found that out, I had like, $3,000 in the bank, which is a lot. And I was like, oh, where like these numbers that these people get on that thing are just so silly.
I think they just go, they see if you have a public profile,
Yeah.
if you're somewhat in the industry, and they just add that
They
number.
go, she's a comedian. She, and I'm going,
I think that's like the starting point.
yeah, like I made minus $20 yesterday by doing 4 mics. It's like,
Yeah. With your with all these things you have lined up, you have your podcast, you have your comedy career, which is coming back, and I see the twinkle in your eyes. So don't stop. You're not going to stop. I know it. You're just, it's nice. You're venting. It's nice to
be better. It's just I need to be better, right? And I'm doing these shows with all these people, and they're fucking crushing it. And I'm like, I was talking to Rachel Wolfson the other day, and I'm like, I'm fucking terrible. I'm the worst on every show I'm on. And she's like, you want to be the worst on every show you're on, because it means that you're going to get better, because you don't want to be the best at every show you're on, because you're not improving.
Right.
But if you're the worst, that means you're surrounded by people who are better than you. That means they're pulling you up. They're going to make you better.
That's a good friend.
Like, it is. But it's like, I just, I started so late, and I just want to be, I want to crush. I don't want to be like, me. And it also sucks because I'm like, yeah, nobody likes me. Like, what should I wear?
Yeah.
I can't wear makeup. Oh, I should wear this Hawaiian shirt so people think I'm relatable. It's like, I'm sick of like, that was another reason which pushed me away from comedy. Was I'm like, I'm sick of trying to make people like me, because in my business, people fucking love me.
Yeah.
And I get booked for my personality. And now here in comedy, I'm trying to alter it in order to make these fucking people who've never met me like me. And I'm like, this is exhausting,
I started late too, so I go through the same thing. It's like you feel
but
like
you're likable. You look like a nice young man.
You are 100% likable.
I'm too much. I know. I've just been yelling at you for an hour.
You're not too much. I think that's in your head.
People do hate me though, and people have told me.
What do you mean they hate? What were you? Okay.
So
like other comedians, audience, like who hates you?
So I have been told by people in my past, like people who were my friends, like, oh, I hated you when I met you, and I'm like, oh, sweet. People.
Is that a girl?
Yeah, of course. It's all good. Yeah. Well, I had a friend, and she goes, I met you like 3 months before I met you, but we were like extras on this movie, and there was like 200 of us, and I was like way down the back.
Yeah.
But I was at a table with all my buddies, right? So there was like 10 of us, and we're all fucking laughing and joking and having a good time. No one else in the whole place knew each other. So the whole place is silent except for our table. We're having the best time ever. And she goes, I saw you at that table, and I thought, I hate her, right? But she told me later, it's only because you were having a good time and I wasn't.
It was a hater.
Yeah, and I'm like, but it's just indicative of like, that's how people think. And people just see me and they automatically hate me, which fucking sucks. And so I'm always trying to make myself less and be like, well, hell, And Amir gives me shit because like if we walk into like an ice cream parlor, I don't just like walk up to the person and be like, hey, but I'm like, you don't know my experience though. I walk in and I'm like this. I'm like, oh, hey, sorry, are you guys still open? Do you have that? Is there any way? Because I understand I'm fucking 6'1". I'm intimidating. People don't, I have to.
It's also the culture outside of America to be like that. In Canada, it's like that too. In Canada, it's very like, excuse me, sorry to like.
Yes.
In England, probably a little bit.
Yes.
America's not like that.
No, they're like, hey.
Yeah, like here's the biggest thing I noticed when people walk into the store here, they just go and when they find the person who works there, they just say diapers.
Oh.
They just say the word of the thing, and they don't think it's rude. They just say, oh, aisle 4. I don't know why I use diapers, but like ketchup, and then they just point.
That's hard.
Like we would be, excuse me,
that is so
blah blah
rude.
blah.
You know what else is a big one here? When you go like, oh, thank you so much, and they go, oh, dude, for years I was like, "This fucking bitch."
But they're not being rude. It's just the culture.
And I'm going.
I've done some in there,
and now I've started going, and I'm like, ew, it's so rude. It's crazy.
So it's not just. I would say it's not just you. It's just like I think the countries of the England's thing are all kind of more British in their politeness.
Yes, that. But I do what he's saying, which is, I'm all jerky and stuff. And I'm like, do you understand that I have to do that or else
What are you gonna do? Spit in your ice cream? Like they're there to serve you.
No. So like if I'm meeting a new group of women, if I'm meeting a new group of people, because I don't do it around men. You're right, because I don't have to.
Right.
But if I'm meeting a new group of women, I have to go, oh, hey, oh, sorry, my name's Sarah. And I've got to be a bit weird because if I went, hey, I'm Sarah, they went, whoa.
If you're like, hello down there.
Yeah, I go, hey, I'm Sarah. And then they go, whoa, she's way too confident. I don't like this. What's going on here? You know, so, it's all very well people like judging other people, but it's like, you don't know what it's like to have lived fucking 35 years being me. Yeah, and also, this is a new joke of mine. So I forgot that when I was 11, my teacher, this is so fucked up. My teacher came up to me for no reason. I was like going for a school prefect or whatever, you know, the captain of the school, whatever.
Yeah.
And she comes up to me and she goes, hey, Sarah. Dude, just like at lunchtime, I'm like emptying my books into my locker. She comes up and she goes, hey, Sarah, just wanted to let you know, and I'm doing it in an American accent because it's funnier. Hey, I just wanted to let you know, you're not going to get prefect. You're not going to win because nobody's going to vote for you because nobody likes you. And I was like, what? And I'm like, I think people I think I'm, I have a good chance, or else I wouldn't have, And she said, well, I tell you what, today at lunchtime, we're going to get all of your friends into a room. So she got 10 of my friends into a room that lunchtime, and she made them all go around the circle and tell me what they don't like about me.
That's a horrible person. I'm gonna cry.
It's so fucked up. And so I told someone the other day, and they went, oh my God, imagine what was going on with her. And I'm like, yeah. I only feel bad for her. That's fucking mental. Yeah. I'm 11 and you're a grown ass woman. She was 45, 50, whatever. And so then
the person's 45?
She was my teacher. Oh my God. She was my teacher. And so I'm sitting and there's all my friends around and they're all they're like, what the fuck is going on? And everyone weren't allowed to adjourn the meeting until everybody said something they didn't like about
now
me.
you have an authority figure who the kid wants to please them.
Yes. And so, dude, one of my friends was like, because I don't remember anything that anyone said except for one of my friends said like, I think Sarah, it's kind of like, Sarah's like ice cream. This is the ice cream analogy coming back. It's like, you have to do all your homework before you can like eat the ice cream, and Sarah's kind of like the ice cream. And I was like, that was very diplomatic. Like, well done, Michelle. Like, that was a really good, thing. That's the only one that I remember. But, anyway, so then I only just remembered that, like, because I must have blanked it out because it's so fucked up. And then so I'm going my whole life, oh, nobody likes me. Oh, it's because my fucking teacher.
Because you had a lineup.
Yeah, I had a lineup of people saying we don't like you.
It was an official school activity.
Yeah, your third period every Monday. Tell Sarah,
what do you have after lunch? Oh, I'm hating Sarah Lawrence.
No, wait, I need to write that down. That's so great. Okay.
Oh my God.
Don't let me forget.
It's on tape, so we can always rewind it.
Hating Sarah Lawrence. Period 3. Okay. Sorry, carry on. That's funny. Yeah, I'm trying to I need to do new jokes because I'm like the thought of, that's why I'm having so much anxiety about like doing shows because it's like, oh, you want me to just go, I'm just wasting time. Oh, you want me to do 20 minutes? Okay, well, let me think back about all the jokes that are just going to waste 10 minutes. And it's like, it's not productive, the set. I'm just going
you're trying to get through it. You're going through the motions.
Yes, I'm getting through it and I hate it.
Yeah. Another Gaffigan thing he said, which was, he's like, people assume that like, oh, people are hitting him up and saying, it's time for your next special. What are you going to do? He's like, comedy doesn't work like that. He's like, even for me, he's like, I have to say, I'm doing this thing.
Yeah.
And that's how it gets done. And I feel like that's a lot of for what we do at different levels, where it's like, we just have to put it out there and be like, I want to do an album, or I want to be past here. Like, it all has to come from within. And it's like this big rock we're holding up over our head the whole time. And it's, sometimes you just want to put it down and be like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep holding this thing up.
But then I'm told that I'm not a real comedian or whatever. And I'm like,
what do you mean you're told?
Well.
You have another room? the lineup? This is, hey, tell Sarah why she's not a real comedian. This is your fear.
Oh my God. So, okay. So when Amir started comedy, he was like, he loved it. He read every book. He's got the Steve Martin book. He's got the, what's his name book? I
got it in there all here.
You've read them all and he's studying it and he fucking loves it. And he's never stopped loving it, And so then I'm going, you've got Jerry Seinfeld over here,
I got the Martin book somewhere there,
all these comedy books. And I'm like, I'm just cruising along. I don't know, but I did love it at one point, but he's saying like, if you don't love it, don't do it, which is fair.
That is fair.
But it's also like, I can see the value in it, and for what I want to do, it's only going to help. And he's also said like, you know, if you quit, you'll regret it. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't, it's not going to do me any worse. Does that make sense? It's not to
be detrimental.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so with what I'm trying to do with the YouTube thing and the this and having the personality, if I go like, hey, by the way, I've been doing stand-up for 10 years, then they go, oh, well, that's something interesting that this TikTok douche doesn't have. Or otherwise I'm just like, oh, I've done this, like I make drinks. It's like, no, I also have this other thing that's like very, you know.
Yeah, it's a complementary skill. You're not getting out of the industry. Like you're not going away from entertainment. You're just doing something else. Right. But that's we're all tasked with saying, hey, you're a comedian, but what else do you do? Yeah. Because that's how the business works. Yeah. Like you either have to be a full touring only comedian, which those are not that many. Yeah. Or you're a comedian podcaster or a comedian actor. Yeah. And when you have those two things, there's like this positive cycle that happens when you're two successful things.
And I think when you're honing all your stuff into one thing, it's like, I don't know. It's
too much pressure. I think it's too much pressure in today's environment because there's just no money in it.
Yeah. Well, I was even told that when I was doing acting, like you have to have something else.
Yeah.
Because if you're just like one of those people, no offense, who's like those actors who are like, I'm a thespian, and you're like, all right, calm down, buddy. Like, get a plan. I don't know.
Yeah, but to me, there's at least a more traditional path with acting. It's like there's so much paid work all the time.
Is there?
I mean, it's still hard to get, but
right. You mean if you want to do extra stuff all the time?
Extra stuff or small stuff or commercial stuff. There's like pathways. There's like auditions. Yeah. There's no like path for comedians. It's like fight your way through. Yeah. I would say the audition process through the clubs is not really a thing anymore either. No. It's not like in the 70s maybe, or maybe even before COVID it was. I don't know. But it doesn't like. There's no system. No, exactly. And no support.
And it's crazy. Like I always used to say, like when I was like super in love with comedy, I was like, comedy is the only thing where like you can, if you're acting, Brad Pitt is not walking into your acting class and going, you're going to be in my next movie. But that can absolutely happen with comedy. Yeah. You could be doing a set somewhere, like Rogan did it with Ali. David Spade did it with Dylan. You know, Eliza just did it with this, I can't remember her name, but they're just walking past, seeing someone and going, hey, you were great, come with me. Yeah. Which is insane. And you never get to rub shoulders with people who are so much better than you in anything other than this.
Yeah. It's democratic because it's based on doing well. Yes. And everyone has what it takes to do well if they are funny and write the jokes. But with a movie, it's like not everyone can make their own movie because it's so expensive. Yeah. And you have to be good at, imagine how crazy it would be if we all just make our own movie.
Imagine how bad that would be. That's actually a great idea. Like that'd be so bad.
It'd be horrendous.
Are you saying because it'd be oversaturated? Are you saying people? Are you saying not like, everyone can make their own movie because it'd be oversaturated, or because they literally can't do it?
They literally can't do it. Right, imagine if you were. It's already oversaturated. We have too much content as it is, like in terms of what humans can watch. Not for a search algorithm because everything's search based, but for us. There's more shows than you can ever need for you. Yeah. But if you had to make a movie, you have to be good at directing, photography, director of photography, lighting, editing, sound. Like it's just skill-based prohibitive. That's why it's a collaborative art. Yeah. But comedy is a solo art.
Well, yeah, and comedy is good because you can't really skip any steps. Like I know I just kind of talked about those steps being skipped, but you have to be good. So you can't.
You can try to skip the good step, but it doesn't work. You see people try to skip the good step, and they just kind of keep hitting the same
and
barrier.
You can tell, I think, and
sometimes they pop through. You're like, look at that person.
But I think we're going to tell once the TikTok people start, because they all call themselves comedians. And they're just doing sketches. And so there was this one person who just sold out whatever show. And I'm like, who is this person? And then I looked on their thing and they're literally just doing little sketches on TikTok. I'm like, what show are you doing?
I don't see that many of those, to be honest.
I actually want to go to their show and like watch because I'm just fascinated. I have no idea.
I see like what's happening now is it's pretty much big names at all the clubs that are like well known.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because it's... I think because everyone left and so now they only have this, so it's just killers every single day.
It's all day killers every day.
I'm like, can I get a show in Hollywood? No, okay, all right, that's fine.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a business. So what steps are we taking to be the business that they want to be in, right? That's really the formula. Why does the Comedy Store and any club across the country, whatever, want to be in the Sarah Lawrence business? And then you have to answer that for them. And they're not even going to ask you.
Right,
You basically have to come forth.
That's what I'm trying to create.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. I'm happy with what I'm doing and the steps that I'm taking in order to get there.
Yeah.
But I'm not there yet. And that's why I don't want to open up my YouTube thing yet, because, I'm getting fucking 40 views or whatever. But once that becomes a thing where I can say, hey, come do my thing. I have this. I have this to show for it. I have 1 million views. Or
Are you going to have guests on?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So it was going to be, I don't want to say it, but not that anyone cares, going to rip me off, but, guests coming in, but I can't be like, hey, come do my thing. It's got 20 views. I want to be like, hey, I have this whole thing. Come do it. There's a reason for you.
Well, you can do it with comedians.
Yes.
Because then also if they're funny, if your show ends up being funny too, that's so complimentary.
Right. So I'm trying to do, so the 20 videos that I've shot are like the classic cocktails. So I wanted to do the classic cocktails first, because that's what people are looking for. Get them out, then bring in the guests. I don't know. I'm open to everything. That's why I don't want to like leave stand up, because I'm like, I'm getting opportunities from all angles.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that I'm keeping my
What's interesting about the internet is you put something out and then the internet tells you what's good about it in a way. It's like you do it and then you're like, oh, we like this part of it. And you can always just pivot. And like your cocktail thing, you might be exactly what you think it is. It might be something totally different. You don't know until the internet kind of, you adjust, you change the thumbnails. It's always like, it's like you're trying to, it's kind of the worst thing for a people pleaser. The internet.
Right.
You're like, what do you want from me? Oh, you want a different logo? Okay.
Well, someone was like the one photo. I think Will Burkhart said that the one video that he posted that he was like, I don't really want to post this one. It's not that funny. That's the one that went viral. Yeah. And he's like, really? I give you all this shit, and it's like the one that I was like, a little bit iffy on is the one, Yeah. And that's.
I remember posting one, and I was like, oh, I spelled a word wrong. And I could see, like, I put it up and it did like 300 views or whatever on TikTok or Reels. And I'm like, oh, let me take it down. I'm going to change that word. I'll re-upload it. I re-upload it, instantly got like 3,000.
What?
And I'm like, so sometimes you just catch everything right too. It's like a weird, it's like you're fishing.
Well, that's the thing with TikTok. It's like
you're fishing. You know a lot about fishing. It's like you're fishing and you just catch the marlin.
Well, it's like you got.
That's what you guys do. You catch marlin. I know nothing about fishing, but marlins.
One time, and then the other time I threw up.
Okay, sounds like fun.
Yeah. The thing with that's the thing with fucking TikTok is you got to post every single day, and I'm just like, I surrendered to the fact like, okay, I have to post every single day. I've got to be better on Instagram. I've got to do blah, blah, blah. And then the other day when I had my head buried in my phone, I was like, fuck everyone. Why do I have to adhere to this thing? If it was up to me, I wouldn't have Instagram at all. In fact, I only got Instagram when I came to America, and I was told you have to have Instagram. And I was like, fuck this. I'm not doing it. And it was funny because me and this girl, we were in the same hosting class. And it was all about your brand and you should be this and da-da-da. And she went away and did everything the teacher said. And I went away and said, fuck this, and, American fucking acting, everything's dumb, didn't do it. She's now got 250,000 followers on Instagram and rising. She's made 2 feature films. She is just absolutely crushing it. And I was over here with like 400 followers, like, cool. But
you have 17,000. That's nothing to sneer at.
Sure.
Yeah. You be yourself first and let it all come, because they're going to come for the art and for what you're doing. And you only want people who want to follow you for what you're doing. You don't want people to follow you for who you're not.
Exactly.
What's the point of that?
Then could you imagine you got there and then you're like, oh, fuck, I did.
Right. You all know.
I'm Marshmallow.
Right.
Instead of Sarah.
Or you could be a bikini girl. Like, it's always just there waiting if you wanted to be that person.
Exactly.
Right. So just be yourself and that'll be it.
Thank you.
Well, tell everyone where to find your channel and your amazing cocktail show.
So my cocktail show is on YouTube at Cali Craft Cocktails, CALI, like California. Craft.
You do a great American accent.
AFT, thank you. Cocktails, COCKTAILS. And my Instagram is the Sarah Lawrence, Sarah with an H, and that's fucking about it. And then if you want to book me to DJ,
we have to do this.
It's
imperialmusic.com,
and the E is a 3.
I'm talking about me. having
yeah,
you.
you.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be amazing.
I didn't realize because I'm in the wedding business and I have all these planners, but the planners do things other than weddings. They plan parties. And then I just talked to a friend of mine the other day who was a planner, and she's like, I didn't know you DJ. And I was like, yeah, oh my God. She's like, I need DJs all the time. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it. 2022, let's do it. Because I want to do more stuff that I give a shit
I think
about.
that slogan's taken, but yeah, let's do it. 2022. And thanks again, Sarah.
Cool. Thank you for having me.
Bye.